What's good, hip hop? It's your boy Robb D, aka Robb D, BKA Robb D, in the place to be for episode 2 of season 4 of the new Millennium. And as you can see from my backdrop, we are in Atlanta, Georgia, my hometown, representing Dominique Wilkins here today, man. And we're going to be talking about Chris Lover, Chris Bridges, otherwise known as Ludacris, one of the most gifted MCs that ever came from the city of Atlanta, Georgia. So before we get started today, I don't know I think you guys are going to see this on, let me think. I think it's going to be on Tuesday's date, which is, hold on, man. My computer's acting super slow this morning. I don't know what Tuesday's date is, but I'm thinking it's going to be on the 14th of September. We are taping today on September 11th. So first and foremost, I want to say that we will never, ever forget 9/11. I remember exactly what I was doing, what was going on during 9/11, seeing those airplanes go into those buildings, and life has been different ever since then. And I do want to give my condolences to the families and everyone that's been affected from that tragedy. So we'll never forget 9/11, and we'll definitely do a short moment of silence at the end of this to recognize that. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the episode. I got a couple of special guests I'm going to invite back. So we're going to run it back again with Chuck Platinum. We got a chance to meet Chuck Platinum last week. We talked after the show last week, and Chuck was like, yo, Rob, man, let's run it back, man. Let's run it back. So we're going to run it back with Chuck Platinum. But Chuck also decided to bring on someone that he works with called Scrilla Gambino. Now, Scrilla Gambino is an up-and-coming artist. Well, I would say an established artist by now. If you have not heard his work, he is a phenomenal MC. He has a most recent EP called Chose, which stands for, I want to get this correct, make sure I get this right, Creating Happiness Over Stress. Is his current EP that's dropped right now. Last year, he released another one called Devil May Cry, which was actually some of the joints are produced by Chuck Platinum, our other special guest on here today. So he reached out to me and said, yo, man, Scrilla wants to get on here. And you guys know me, I'm an open platform. If you just know what you're talking about, and it's an open forum to anybody. But Chuck Platinum has already solidified himself as a hip hop connoisseur. So he decided to share his wisdom with the young homie, and we got him on board. And I'm going to bring these gentlemen in so we can get the show started. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to the world once again Chuck Platinum, and we have Mr. Scrilla Gambino. Gentlemen, what's good? What's happening, Scrilla? Why don't you go to introduce yourself to the audience, my good sir? What's happening with you?
What's going on? It's Scrilla Gambino from Sugar Hill, the Sugar Hill section of Harlem. You know, I'm in the building. You know, I appreciate you for having me on the show, man.
Word, man. He's trying to be humble, man. That's
yeah,
all right, man.
I ain't, no, I don't do none of the flashy stuff. Humble cat. Man.
It's all good, man. Welcome, my good brother. Chuck Platt, what's good, man? Introduce yourself one more time for the audience. One more again for him, man. What's up with you?
You already know, man. Chuck Platinum in the building. BX stand up. Nova King Billionaires. BACG. You already know the squad, man. Got my brother Scrilla Gambino here. I'm just happy and blessed to be here. You already know.
Salute to you, brothers, man. Salute to your whole movement, man. Salute to your whole movement. And glad to have you guys aboard with us today, talking about one of my favorite MCs, Ludacris. And man, so what I'm going to tell the audience, those of you that are watching and listening, Ludacris, probably, and the show was called Mr. Consistent. And the reason why it's called Mr. Consistent is because he is probably the most consistent rapper in the 2000s era, period. Like every album he put out was damn near platinum. I mean, numerous amount of hits. He did movies. He has awards. He did features. I mean, he has so much stuff in front of me, you guys. Like I can't read through it all. I'm going to hit the highlights or the cliff notes, and then we're going to jump into our conversation. But without further ado, let me roll out some facts about Ludacris. 9-time BET Awards winner, 1-time BET Hip Hop Awards winner. He has 3 Grammys. He has 1 VMA, 1 Screen Actors Guild Award because of him being with the cast of the ensemble of the movie called Crash, which was in 2005. It talked about racial injustice and racial biases. Awesome movie. If you all get a chance to watch Crash, that version of him in it is dope.
One of the best.
One of the best. It is absolutely one of the best movies I've seen. He did 11 movies during this time. Too Fast, Too Furious, Hustle and Flow. He's done the Fast and Furious series at the Fast Five, all that good stuff. So he's a staple in Hollywood, but we're going to focus on the music in this particular episode. So he dropped 6 albums, you guys, in the 2000s. I'm going to sum up this real quick as fast as I can. One of my favorites is Back for the First Time, released in October 2000. You know what that one's all about. What's Your Fantasy? Whole Southern Hospitality, produced by the Neptunes, and went triple platinum. Next album, Word of Mouth, triple platinum, November 2011, which was Move Bitch, featuring Mystical and I-20, which is a staple that's never going anywhere in all cultures.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Can't play that at certain clubs.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Atlanta with him and JD. Saturdays with Sleepy Brown. Area Codes featuring the late, great Nate Dogg. Rest in peace to Nate Dogg. You know what I'm saying? And then Chicken and Beer, which is one of my favorites out of his catalog, which is 2 times platinum, the Southern Fried intro. And then we're going to talk about that when we get into this here in a little bit, because once he got to Chicken and Beer, Luda really focused on the introduction of the album. So if you can listen to Chicken and Beer, Red Light District, Release Therapy, Theater of the Mind, the intro of the albums are fucking dope. All 4 of those albums intros just set this tone. And my favorite of them all is Chicken and Beer. The Southern Fried intro, Stand Up, produced by Mr. Kanye West. Splash Waterfalls, one of my favorites, Diamond in the Back, Screwed Up, a little slip. P Pop and Hip Hop Quotables, produced by Eric Sermon, is on there. Act the Fool. I mean, you guys just countless. I really don't want to read through all this, but 2 times platinum with the Red Light District, December 2004. Intro, number 1 spot. Get Back, Blueberry Yum Yum. Spur of the Moment, which was the West Coast vibe with him and my homeboy from the West Coast. I think it was DJ Quick. DJ Quick was on there. That real smooth West Coast vibe, large amounts, pimping all over the world.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Future made his first introduction on one of them albums.
Yes, absolutely. No question. Then we got Release Therapy in 2006. 1 time platinum. We got The Warning. We got trying to think, it was Girls Going Wild, Ultimate Satisfaction, War with God, Slap, Runaway Love, Freedom of Preach. And then last but not least, we have Theater of the Mind, released in November of 2008. One of my favorite ones, Undisputed, with Floyd Mayweather, Contagion with Jamie Foxx, MVP, Primo. And one of my favorite tracks from Ludacris is I Do This for Hip Hop, featuring Jay-Z and an incredible verse by Nasir Jones. So that is our premise for our discussion. And I'm gonna get into the singles, you guys. You know, he got Yeah with Lil Jon and Usher, and Lovers and Friends, Oh with Sierra. Classic. I mean, all that goes on and on, man. Let me just put this away, man, because we already know what it is with Ludacris. So we ain't gonna get into that. We're done with that. That's all the facts, right? So what I want to get to the meat and potatoes of the podcast is the opinions, right? Not about the facts, it's about the opinions. So I'm gonna pass the mic over to Scrilla. Scrilla, welcome to the podcast, my good sir. And my first question for you is, what is Ludacris's impact on hip hop culture?
Not for none. He kind of I would put him in like a bracket with, like, you see how Busta Rhymes and he would fall down with like the creativity and the artistry. He goes in there and does what he feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you could tell by the way his videos are, the way he flows. It's like he does what he feels. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of artists, they do it, but it's like he puts more so truth into what he's saying.
Yeah.
Whereas in a lot of artists nowadays, it's putting a lot of caps in their raps. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of cap in their rap. So that's what I would think, that his artistry compared to a lot is very unrivaled. Like, a lot of people can't, and he can really rap. That's the most slept on part about Luda. Yeah. People think that he has when you do the What's Your Fantasies and Stand Up, the Move Bitch, when you do records like that, they tend to sleep on the lyricism that he is capable of. I remember watching him on what was that? When Method Man and Redman had a show on MTV, and they had him rapping over the frog, like the frog sound, and he's really rapping, and they was like, "Oh, yeah, this backfired," because he's really rapping over it. You know what I'm saying? So word, and man. And he kind of introduced the world to a flow that now a lot of people are using. where a lot of people wasn't rapping in double time.
Yeah.
He was really doing that. You know, outside of the people in the Midwest, people in the South wasn't rapping in double time.
Yeah, that's fact. That's fact.
So, you know, he's definitely a legend.
He is definitely a staple in the hip hop culture. And I'm gonna move that same question to Platt, but with a twist. So one of the things that Scrilla mentioned was the animated kind of style that made Busta Rhymes famous, made Missy famous. I would throw Ludacris in that same conversation as well. But my question, Chuck, is: do you think that is a plus for Ludacris or a minus? Some could see it both ways. What is your interpretation of that when it comes to Ludacris?
It was a plus, because what the thing was that what he was able to do that Busta and Missy wasn't able to do is he was able to get outside of that box. You understand what I'm saying? So he did that for his first few albums. Those were his highest selling albums, but the difference is like with Busta and him, like Missy was more, you know, entertainer. Like Scrilla said, like Luda was rapping, just like Busta when he, you know, they did the animations, but that's what made them who they were. Right. They was able to have the bridge between the creativity and, you know, to still be rapping. So that was dope. And then what happened was he decided that he wanted to be more serious, be more introspective. He wanted to be respected in Hollywood. So he switched his whole sound up, everything, you know what I'm saying, and became less animated, and that worked out for him too. So, you know, he was always a dope, honest, real rapper. So he's respected on all aspects of that to me.
Yeah, no question. I actually agree with both of you. I always thought that Luda was, so to your point, Chuck, when he first came out, he was kind of cartoonish. I guess that's maybe a good word I like to use. Kind of cartoonish, like not kind of like a gimmicky kind of rapper. But then as he progressed, as he got, I won't say older, but as he progressed in his career, when he got to release therapy, that's a prime example.
Release therapy was the change.
Release therapy is when he like started talking about social things, you know, things to talk about the war. He talked about his beef with him and T.I. He talked about runaway love, you know, with Mary J. Blige, you know, with sex trafficking and stuff like that. So like he started to talk about topics that were, you know, would probably be unpopular to talk about social things. That's the word. But it's like, wow, he started to shift. And then when he got to Theater of the Mind, that's when he, to me, got to like the roots of hip hop. He went back and reached out to Primo. You know, he reached out to Ninth Wonder, you know, some of the bigger producers, you know, to bring that sound, that boom bap sound back to hip hop. And I think it's genius, man. I really think it's genius. And he is criminally, ladies and gentlemen, Ludacris is criminally underrated in hip hop. I don't know how or why, or we don't give Ludacris enough his flowers or whatever term or coin the term that we use nowadays for Ludacris, for his penmanship, his showmanship. His shows are dope. You're going to go to a concert. You're going to get your money's worth. But I'm going to pass the mic back over to Scrilla for this one. And to go along with that, Scrilla, with Ludacris and his success, do you think, or why do you think that Luda is so overlooked as an MC?
I think they was doing that a lot with Atlanta artists at that time. Because when you think Atlanta, it's like the home of the strip clubs. So you got to think about it. His first record was geared towards what? Where was it playing that at? Strip clubs, shit like that. So once you come out with records like that, and then it was, you know, then you get this the Southern hospitality. They're not really listening for the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Cadillac Reels, Cadillac Spills. So when you get those type of records, you're already going to get marginalized into a certain bracket. Right. They're not looking at him as like, oh, he's an MC. He's this, he's that. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at him as like that. They didn't, same thing with T.I. They didn't look at T.I. as a real wordsmith until his third album.
Yeah.
Which was Urban Legend. Luda didn't start getting looked at as a wordsmith until you start doing a blow it out your ass. And that's when people really start paying attention to like, oh, he can really rap. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I noticed he really had to make a change, and you know, he really gets criminally overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was he not on the? He's definitely one of them ones like that really changed the demographic. Like, oh, they can really rap in Atlanta. Outside of Outkast and the Dungeon Family, he came out of that like right after that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, and he put Def Jam had somebody to hold the flagship down for the South.
Yeah.
That was the smartest thing Scarface could have did, is being president of Def Jam South, was signing Luda.
So that brings me to my next point. So Chuck, if Luda does not have the backing of Def Jam South, do you think he would be as successful as he is right now? Because when you think about, I love the way that Scrilla made that point, because Luda was signed when he made Incognito in 1999. It was independent release. It didn't get a lot of buzz. Then it gets a major label backing him. So what does a major label do for you, ladies and gentlemen, that don't know? You get a lot of money. You get a lot of money thrown at you. You get the top tier producers. So with that in mind, and that is the reason why I think that it separated Ludacris from the pack. So I'm going to let you have that back up, Chuck, real quick. So if that doesn't happen, if Luda doesn't get signed to Def Jam South, do you still think he would be where he is in the position of hip hop without that signing?
I think that he would have, because what people forget is that, you know, even though he did Incognito that way, it was still a successful independent release for how he did it. So, and he was on radio.
Yes.
And he was on a major radio station in Atlanta. So it wasn't like he wasn't known. He still had that, you know, that opportunity to shine. Now, where he probably went triple platinum, probably eventually. Yeah. But that's what he was aiming for. That's why he went back and did back for the first time. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, cool. This was probably in the plans anyway. So let me go ahead. I got this deal. And he probably had that insight then when he was dealing with, you dealing with Scarface. Scarface had one of his biggest opportunities as a label executive. And it gives you, this is how I'm thinking as an artist. It would give me an opportunity to stand out. Even if I was the only one, no, I bet. Let me make the bet. I got this budget. You know, Def Jam was, they was, you know, at that time, that's when, you know, Fab started joining the fold, and, you know, it was a lot of different things going on with Def Jam right there. Yeah. So I think Luda kind of, you know, saved Def Jam as a whole and had Def Jam on his back.
Yeah, so, as he coined the phrase on the Red Light District. If you go back and listen to the Red Light District on the intro, go back to the intro of Red Light District, he put, I put Def Jam on my back, and then that's exactly what he coined the phrase on there. So I think that's an awesome point, man, because that signing, and then what did he also do, you guys? He brought in his homies, I-20. He brought in Chingy,
immediately.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He brought in his crew. So I think we don't do enough of that in hip hop. I think that it's all about me getting mine, forget about the crew, or vice versa. Or you bring the crew in, right? And then the crew, you know, does some foul things and make sure name go down. So it could be the opposite effect of it too. But I think that he already had the entrepreneur in mind. He heard about disturbing the peace back for the first time. He already had that entrepreneurial type of business mind state. And I think that's awesome, man. And for him to be where he is now, to have Shauna on there, who was another dope female MC, to showcase her, I-20. And, you know, I know there's a fallout with Chingy, and we're not going to get into all that right now. You know,
still, if we focusing on the music,
like I said, not for nothing, Chingy got a shot. He took the best he got the best out of that whole DTP thing. If you ask me, Chingy got the best shot out of all of them.
Sure
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, regardless of how it ended up, Chingy was hot. Chingy was hot.
He came back and got another decent shot.
Yep. Yeah,
with
man.
The song with Tyrese.
Yep. You sure did.
That was a big record.
Yeah.
That was
my joint.
He had a big
fucks
record.
with Chingy, sorry. That's my guy, yo. That right there, record boy, when we was in the club. Anyway, Luda, this about you, bro.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No, but it's a branch off of Luda's tree. You know what I'm saying? So it still counts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with it either way. But the last thing that I want to get from you, gentlemen, is a hard question. So the hard question is, Luda was interviewed. So shout out first off to Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God, you know, DJ Envy and their whole crew and what they do. I'm trying to be up there in that status with you guys. So I'm coming after you guys, right? So I'm letting the world know right now. So because I envy you all, I love what you all do. But when they interviewed Ludacris, they asked Ludacris a very particular question about the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta MCs. And I want to know what you guys' opinion of that. So, Chuck Platinum, we talked about the female MCs and the Mount Rushmore, the top 4 female MCs that get their faces chiseled into that piece of granite. We're going to flip that on Atlanta hip hop. So, Chuck Platinum, my good sir, you get the first crack at this. If you were to create a Mount Rushmore of Atlanta MCs, who gets their names, faces chiseled into that piece of granite?
Are we just saying whether Ludacris is, or do we say the Mount Rushmore?
We give you either with or without. With or without. Don't have to be Ludacris in it.
All right.
And I'm gonna tell you about that significant here in a second.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you who definitely, if we talking individual, definitely like Luda, T.I., definitely up there, and Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Definitely. I haven't thought about the 4-person, but Luda definitely gets the Mount Rushmore. I know last week was a different conversation, but Luda's one of the top kings of Atlanta, man. You can never sleep on Luda, man. He's the one of the GOATs of Atlanta.
Absolutely, man. Well respected, a very humble cat too, man. That's what I love about Luda, man. Like Luda, like he is a very humble person. He's very boisterous in his rhymes, but in his real life, he's very laid back. He's very thankful for the things that he has. So thankful, in fact, that he still owns the 1993 Acura Legend that he had before he was famous, to remind himself of what he had before he got put on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people need to do, to have something in your life that reminds you to ground you of where you were in your life before you got famous. And he still has it. It still runs. It has over 250,000 miles on it, matter of fact. So he still keeps it in his arsenal with all the rest of the fancy cars and stuff like that. But he has that one, and he tells everybody that's his favorite car because that reminds him of who he was before he was famous. So I think that's dope.
That is great
out there. So we're gonna come back to you, Platt, to fill that last spot.
Yep.
Scrilla Gambino, same question, my good sir. We're talking about the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta hip hop artists. Who do you chisel on that piece of granite?
Does Outkast count as 1 or 2?
Well, you know, I'll give you the whole Dungeon family. We'll just put 3,000 space on there to represent it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put 3 stacks to represent the Dungeon family. You said hip hop. It's in MCs, right?
MCs, producers, whoever, man. Don't matter.
All right, cool.
The whole gamut.
I'm gonna go 3 stacks to represent the Dungeon family. I'm gonna throw Jermaine Dupri in there.
Okay.
Throw. Damn, this is a tough one.
I told you it wasn't gonna be easy.
How you doing?
I'm spending in the night.
You spending in the night? Okay. Yeah, it's my
Tell her she's famous. Everybody can see who she is.
I'm spending in the night.
You got I said 3 stacks for the Dungeon family. Jermaine Dupri. Damn, it's a tough one. I'm gonna go Luda and T.I.
Luda and T.I. I like that. That's a solid 4.
Just for what they brought to pave the way and open the doors for the Gucci's, the Jeezys, you know, and for them to, you know, keep that Atlanta thing going. So,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Jermaine Dupri as the 4th. Thank you, little bro. That I didn't know we was adding producers. Jermaine
that's
Dupri.
why
I was going the whole game. My bad, Chuck. I didn't phrase it. I didn't coin the question correctly. My bad.
There ain't no Atlanta without Jermaine Dupri.
Can't make music without Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri is the mayor of the city of Atlanta. I will give him. He will be on mine as well. I put Luda. I would put 3 stacks to represent the Dungeon family for sure. And then my last one would probably be T.I. Yeah, probably be T.I. for sure. And not taking nothing away from Lil Jon, but to me, Lil Jon is a branch off of JD's tree a little bit as well.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I wouldn't. Some people put Lil Jon on there, but Lil Jon kind of got on because of JD. So JD kind of gets the credit for that. But man, however you want to coin it or phrase it, Ludacris he's awesome, yo. Like Ludacris is dope as fuck, man. Like He's able to flip words. He gets respect as an MC. And one of the last things I want to point out before we start closing the show out is I love how Luda shines on posse tracks, right? So when he's on posse tracks, if you are going to feature, and I'm gonna tell this to everybody in the world right now, if you want to put Ludacris on a feature track with other MCs, you better be ready to bring it, because he's going to bring his penmanship to the top tier. Now, he did Made You Look remix. I thought I think it was a step behind Jada. I'm not going to put him in front of Jada on there. I'll put him in front of Nas, but he was maybe a step behind, because getting out on the street, like more stuff on the street, like the evicted tenants. I was like, oh, that was so hard.
It was. I don't think people were expecting him to get on a record like that. You got to think wasn't. Like you're on a record with Nas and Jadakiss. Yeah, and you're so from down south. You're from Atlanta, so it's like that's why I said a lot of people wasn't respecting that. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, so he had to get on them kind of records, and you know what I'm saying, and make people believe in what was going on in Atlanta. Yeah, the I'm So Hood remix with DJ Khaled. Yep. I feel he bodied that.
He did.
I
think
he bodied. I do it for hip hop with Jay-Z and Nas. I thought Nas had the best verse. I think his verse was better than Jay's. So it's like, if you were to, I'm just letting everybody know, if you want to feature Ludacris on your track, you in the world of hurt. That's all I got. That's all I'm gonna say with that. That's all I'm gonna say with that. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. To me, Luda got at T.I. on song too. Oh, you mean when it was going back and forth?
Oh yeah.
That War with God. Yeah, that was mean too, though. That was mean too.
That was cool
too. Yeah, he killed. He got T.I. with the get off the T.I. PMR. Yeah, that was.
Yep. The my A.
Yeah, that was cold. And that was cold, man. T.I. was my guy. Like, my first album I ever bought with my money was T.I. Urban Legend. Which is a classic, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. Yeah,
I love T.I. I'm a big T.I. fan.
Yeah, best album he got is Paper Trail. Urban Legend is
hands down.
But what I'll say out of Ludacris catalog, I think Chicken and Beer is a standout. Red Light District is a standout, and definitely Release Therapy are the standouts for me. Like as he got, we mentioned earlier, his penmanship got better as he got further along, and then he got surrounded, with other MCs, and they were like, just as Scrilla was mentioning, Luda started getting noticed. Like, who the hell Nas gonna reach Nas at the stature of Nas in 2002 to reach out to Ludacris to be a feature on his track? Like, Luda is what? How many albums in 2002? What, 2? He's about 2. Nas or Luda?
Luda. Yeah, he was about 2 albums in, about to be into 2 albums.
Yep. About 2 albums in, man. So for him to get an elder statesman in hip hop like Nas to put you on a Made You Look remix, that was big for the city of Atlanta. Absolutely. We're not even going to talk about for Luda. That was big for the city of Atlanta. So it opens the door for, T.I. to get on a We Fly High remix. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it opens the you know what I mean? Like, that connection from New York to Atlanta. Like, that's like when JD and Hove did Money Ain't a Thing. That was some flashy joint. Like, for the streets, that was a big record.
That made you look.
That was a big record. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. And, we could talk about that part all day between the beef between Luda and T.I. I'm glad they were able to squash the beef. Yes. It's good. It's always good for hip hop, but I always think that beef is good for hip hop. I never thought beef was a bad thing for hip hop. I like to see. If it's on wax. If it's on wax, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the key word.
Nobody get hurt. Nobody get jumped.
Let's look at the camera.
No
with
violence.
That.
If you keep it on wax. Yeah, if you keep it on wax, it's to me, it's about competition, man. That's why I love battle rap so much. But that's a whole nother story for another time, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna start wrapping things up, how we are going to be dedicating every show this season is to life and memory of Breonna Taylor. So, gentlemen, if you could join me with your fist in the air one time, we're going to do a chant for Breonna, her life and memory. So when I say justice for, you all say Breonna Taylor. So one time, justice for
Breonna Taylor.
Justice for
Breonna Taylor.
Justice for
Breonna Taylor, rest in peace, my mom. We love you, and let your soul continue to rest up there with the Lord. So with that in mind, we're going to go into the shout out portion. We're going to let our new guest, Scrilla Gambino. Scrilla, thank you so much, brother, for your talent, for your expertise, your hip hop mind. And I definitely want to challenge that mind later on this season. That same thing I told Chuck Platinum. So y'all don't need to be together to do this. Just want to let y'all know that, right? So you got to be together to do this. You got a green light now to come out and reach out to me. You know what I mean? But
for sure.
Scrilla, who are your shout outs going to this week, my good sir?
Shout out to the Brotherhood, the BACG. Shout out 111th Lane, my Edgecombe niggas. Shout out to, first and foremost, I'm so tweaking. Shout out to you for inviting me on the show. Thank you. I appreciate
Salute, homie. Salute.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody that supports me and my clothing line and my music and anything that I do.
Word, man. Shout out to you, Scrilla. Thank you for being on the show this week, man. For the Run It Back feature, this is Chuck Platinum. Chuck, for 2 weeks in a row, who are your shout outs going to?
Yes, sir.
Homie?
Yo, you already know, man. Shout out to my brother Scrilla Gambino for joining me, man. That's my right hand right there. Love my brother to death, you know what I mean? Shout out to the whole BACG gang, my brothers, the whole brotherhood, man. Love y'all. Novocaine Billionaires, B franchise, the whole team, man. You know, Death Row's Records. I ain't give y'all a shout out on the last one, man. Appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? And, you know, just shout out to my whole family and everybody that supports any brand that I got, man.
Man, you two gentlemen, keeping the culture alive, keeping hip hop alive. Man, shout out to you, Scrilla, and I love your EPs. Chuck, I love your music as well. Let the Wolves Play. If you all did not hear it last week, I'm reminding you again, go back, do your hip hop homework, go back and listen to that EP. He got some more work coming out in Q4, looks like. And Skrilla's got that is it Chose? I think it's Chose what it's called. That's out right now. Dropped last month. You guys go support that project. One of the producers that are on this show right now, I'm not going to say no names, but y'all go check him out. You know, make sure that you all support the movement. And shout out always for me going out to my family, my queen Jessica, who is Miss Connect the Dots. That's going to be her AKA, because she is very good at connecting dots to things like that. So that's your new phrase, babe. Miss Connect the Dots. That's what your AKA is now. I just shout out to her too, man. Shout out to the queen, too, man. Like I can't make moves without her. She is my rock. My family, my kids, my grandkids, and everybody that supports DIggie to the movement. And next week, we're going to be talking about one of the most, what I would say, one of the most creative MCs that put a certain city in the state of Missouri on the map. That is St. Louis. You all stay tuned for that next week. All right. So y'all stay good, stay humble. And as Ludacris said, we do it for the love. And since 9 years old, we did it for hip hop. All right. See y'all next week. All right, man. Peace.